知らぬ者はいない。本物なのか。ダイナマイトが。
Hello everyone, Skippy here, and welcome to One Piece episode 933. Directed by Aya Komaki and supervised by Toshio Deguchi and Midori Matsuda. After a few months of waiting for it to arrive, we're finally in the next batch of SAKUGA episodes with Zoro's fight against Gyukimaru and Kamazo, with both these episodes being handled this time around by the head honchos of the series as it is, starting with co-series director Aya Komaki directing her own storyboard for the first time since 909, and character designer Midori Matsuda finally supervising again after only serving as an occasional chief supervisor since 892, as she's overseeing a half each for both of these hyped up episodes, which basically means she's strictly handling the Zoro sections this week and next week. Combined together with the absurdly solid animation seen in the preview, from freelance talent like Takashi Kojima and Jun Wentan among other cuts, this should turn out to be every bit as good as we expect it to be given those behind it all. I know a lot of people are a bit cautious on Toshio Deguchi supervising the other half, since he's certainly not the most quality of the regular supervisors, but when given an adequate amount of time, he's able to pull off some corrections that look quite polished like in Aya Komaki's 875. So it shouldn't be something that will hold it back in any conceivable way, especially since Ichikawa will likely be correcting his half. So will episode 933 successfully get the ball rolling on this hack and slashing two-parter? Time to ring go in, guns a-blazing, and find out. This episode covers the first 12 or so pages of chapter 937, and despite covering a fairly adequate amount of content that helps the pacing even itself out, there's still quite a bit of really thoughtful filler that I'd expect from a Komaki episode. Whether it be extending the Udon section to tease more of Luffy building up his haki by actually showing us his fight against some of the gifters, or simply adding in slight additional dialogue to the start to make the entire conversation with Big Mom flow more naturally, Komaki puts all her effort towards making this a better overall experience than the manga already was by finding new and interesting ways to expand upon the source material, even going as far as to adapt a panel from Oda's Monsters one-shot manga before One Piece even began that featured the introduction of Ryuma, instead of just having him shouted away in the distance as a still. This combined with her usual fantastic comedic timing that never leaves a joke falling flat, and her absolutely wonderful use of atmosphere in the Ringo section, where a lot of the time the music is completely absent in favor of more ambient sound effects, makes for yet another expertly done episode for Komaki as far as adaptation is concerned. While it may not be the bulk of the fight that a lot of people will find more interesting, Komaki still goes above and beyond to make the content as engaging and as fun as can be by finding every single opportunity to not only tease future narrative beats in effective ways, but also to include fan service where it fits that will make your average One Piece fan, Oda fan, or fans of the anime in general squeal with glee. And that's without touching upon her storyboard that helps add an extra layer of vibrance to this overall solid package. Throughout the entirety of these breakdowns so far, Komaki's storyboards have been some of the most highly rated ones without fail, and I'm glad to say that in 933 she does it once again by using her old bag of tricks that I'll probably never get tired of. From vibrant backgrounds that help sell comedic gags to crazy good uses of depth of field and first-person point of view in the Zoro section, the storyboard here feels nothing short of premium. Just like the adaptation, it's packed with so many cool goodies that enhance what were simple little lines in the manga into something that really sticks with the viewer, making me outright enjoy things that I didn't really pay much mind to in the manga, and making the Zoro fight feel quite tense due to rapid color shifts, fantastic scale, and seamless transitions. Now sure, there may be a few shots here and there that I think could have done with being less crowded, all things considered, but they're so few and far between and are surrounded by absolute sprinkles of quality around every corner that it doesn't distract from this hot fudge sundae of a board that was an absolute treat for the eyes, as we've come to expect from one of the best directors on the series. Now, while the episode itself is quite well animated in about every right, and is full of character in even the smallest sections of it, it's really the two main heavyweights from the preview that impress more than anything else. Starting with friend of Chu Young-su's Jun Wen-tan providing the start of the Zoro fight, with some extremely well done and ferocious swordplay that easily beats out most of the swordplay scenes that we've had prior to this, and even in small sections like the little cutaway to Ryuma, bear his wonderful webgen-like effects work that people fell in love with back on 915. However, he's quickly upstaged by the return of one of Wano's biggest surprises so far, an absolute One Piece fanboy, Takashi Kojima, going absolutely ballistic. It's been a while since we last saw Kojima do Ace's Red Hawk in 906, so it's almost appropriate that he does quite a lengthy scene in comparison to that may just be one of the loosest and craziest pieces of animation on the anime since Bahi on 914, smearing the two characters around as they intensely duke it out, and giving their expressions and movements so much life through extremely soft line work, with the cut of Zoro breathing and Kamuzo's wild faces being the best examples of this. Lock that all down with some nutty background animation that is always a joy to see, and this may just be Kojima's best scene on One Piece, bar none. When you couple that with the fact that Midori Matsuda's corrections are as lovely and as round as ever, which serves to add a lot of polish to her half, and the fact that Toshio Deguchi's art was quite solid in the odd moment that it wasn't corrected by Ichikawa, makes 933 one damn good episode. While I think I was expecting a few more key animators to show up here due to how the preview was cut, I'd be lying if I said I wasn't immensely satisfied with this episode. It checks off all the boxes on a checklist of what I'd expect from an episode crafted by our co-series director, and it gets the ball rolling perfectly for Nagamine to impress us even more in next week's 934. With both an extremely solid looking storyboard and cool animation that takes so much from it, and absolutely wonderful polished corrections from both Matsuda herself and the newest addition to the rotation, Keita Saito, I'm 100% ready for everything that next week has to offer. Anyways guys, that's it for now. I'm Skippy, and why is Agumon's eye stuck in the red bean paste?